Hey guys, so I know that this video is probably going to be a little bit random for my channel. I'm filming on my phone, literally on the front-facing camera, which is like the worst quality, and I have the worst bed head. I haven't showered in like 2 days. It's like 2 in the morning. And I didn't have a particular purpose for filming this video. I just literally wanted to turn on the camera and talk to you guys. Oh, hi, kitten. And I don't know if you guys could hear her meowing, but I was talking to Azura. Anyways, ironically, I've never just turned on my camera and started filming with no purpose at all. And why I say that's ironic is because that's the reason why I started a YouTube channel in the first place. That was all I wanted. Oh, hi. All I ever wanted with YouTube was to be able to turn on the camera and to just have a conversation, and for that to be the way that I engage with people. And I've never just turned on my camera and filmed a video because I've never thought that I had anything valuable enough or compelling enough to talk about that would be worth making just a random video about talking. But anyways, I'm totally just rambling, and this is the worst intro to a video ever, but like I said, this video didn't have a specific purpose. Anyways, so my mom texted me this morning, and oh my god. She literally is always all over me as soon as I start talking or singing, especially singing. If I'm singing, she's like, oh my god. I don't know if it's because she thinks that something's wrong with me or because she thinks that I'm like calling her or meowing. I don't know. Anyways, so my mom texted me this morning, which doesn't happen often. Me and my mom don't really talk very often anymore. And anyways, she texted me and said, I would read it to you, but I'm filming on my phone, so I can't go verbatim. But basically, she said that we haven't talked in a while, and she just wanted to check in and see how I'm doing, which is odd for her. And she wanted to tell me that my cousin had his baby. So my cousin and his wife, they just had a baby girl. And she doesn't have a name yet, but I saw a picture of her and she was the absolute cutest. But it's like not being announced to the rest of the world yet, so yeah, she just wanted to text me in private. But she also texted me because yesterday was the anniversary of the day that my dad died, and it's been on my mind lately, but I don't know whether I've intentionally forgot the exact date. Oh, she's literally just staring up at me. What a little cutie pie. I don't know whether I intentionally forgot the date because I don't want to hold on to things like that anymore, or why I forgot the date, but I don't remember the day that my brother died either. I don't remember the day that my dad died, and I don't really care, and I feel like I'd rather not know, but for some reason whenever those times come around, I feel it. And I've just been feeling it this entire week, like, oh, I know that this is the time that my dad passed away, and I can just like, think about him more, I feel him more, I feel like signs, or symbols in life that remind me of him. Like I was watching a Nikki Tutorials video, and her little brother passed away from cancer, which I just learned. And she was talking about all of these different things that happened right after her brother, I think Mikolai was his name, passed away. And just listening to her talk was exactly how I felt when my brother passed away, and the same with my dad. But yesterday I was out on a walk, and I was going to meet up with this girl, Laura, from work, and a pick, like a guitar pick, caught my eye in the dirt, literally just the very smallest part of it was showing. And I don't find guitar picks super often, but if I find anything in life ever, it's always guitar picks. And I did tell one story here where a guitar pick fell right into the palm of my hand in Hotel Georgia. Now I'm like scared that something's going to happen. Anyways, I was in Hotel Georgia, downtown Vancouver, because I was filming on a TV show, and nobody else was in the hall at all. Nobody else was in this giant room. It had like 20-foot ceilings, and a guitar pick literally fell into the palm of my hand, and I kept that guitar pick, and that's, to me, my lucky guitar pick to this day, because I hadn't started playing guitar yet, but I had a How to Learn Guitar book in my backpack to read on set that day in case there was any downtime, and a guitar pick fell into the palm of my hand. So that was the weirdest thing ever. But if you believe in like ghosts or things like that, I don't know what else you would want to call it, but that was such a weird thing that happened to me. And I like to think that that was my dad. And yesterday I found another guitar pick after the longest time, and I now definitely think that that was my dad, because my mom texted me this morning and reminded me that yesterday was the day that my dad passed. So I just think that's so weird that I just happened to find another guitar pick on the day that my dad passed away. And yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about it today, and I feel like when people pass away that you kind of receive their energy. Like, I was always like my brother in some ways, and I was always like my dad in some ways, but I also felt like this resistance to being like them, and then once they passed away, I feel like I'm more like both of them, especially my dad, than I ever have been in my life. Maybe it's like that song from The Lion King. He lives in you. He lives in you. He lives in you. He lives in you. That is The Lion King, right? Maybe it's The Lion King 2. But I'm pretty sure it's from one of the Lion King movies. But, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about my dad's kind of celebration of life. It wasn't really a funeral. My dad was homeless, and he lived in the homeless community in Nelson, BC when he died. And he didn't have any money. There was no life insurance or anything. And a funeral, if you didn't know, is actually thousands and thousands of dollars. And when my brother passed away, I think he had like $10,000 of life insurance or something, and that didn't even cover the funeral. So we had a celebration of life, and we had that in Nelson, BC. I hadn't seen my dad in several years. I hadn't seen my dad since before, I think it was like a week before I went off to my first year of college. It was the last time that I saw him. And he just messaged me on Facebook a couple days. Oh, she's so cute. A couple days before he passed away, which is very odd because, if you're homeless, you don't have very frequent access to the internet, so it wasn't very often that he contacted me. And he messaged me right before he passed away, and I told him that I booked my first Broadway audition, and that I went back to college and I graduated college, and that I was living in Toronto, working in film. And he basically told me that he loved me and that he was super proud of me and everything that I would need as closure before he passed away. And then a few days later, I was thinking about him and I was thinking about his lifestyle. And I just had a feeling that it wasn't going to be long before he was gone. And the last time that I saw him, he was super, like, emaciated and thin and not taking care of himself. And he was probably only like 80 pounds. He was, like 5'7", so to be that thin was not very healthy, and he had I have like a hair in my eye or something. Gray hair that was like down to here, and a big beard. I suppose I could insert a picture of him. I don't know if that's respectful or not, but I mean it in the best way because he was majestic as fuck, so I'll try and find a picture for you guys. And I knew he wasn't eating or just not taking care of himself properly. And he didn't, like, drink alcohol or anything. He didn't do drugs other than smoke weed. He drank coffee all the time. He didn't really eat. Basically how I get when I'm super depressed. But he lived like that for just the longest time. And my dad, as long as I knew him, kind of had, like, a Jesus complex in some ways, I guess you would say. Like, he did not care for himself. He only took care of other people. And he passed that down to me in so many ways, especially since he's passed on and my brother's passed on. I feel like it's my calling or, like, my duty to, like, live on their legacy. And whatever that means, but, like, I feel like I've embodied their spirits and their energies, and I know a lot of my dreams with performance and acting were because my brother always wanted to perform and act and be in the spotlight as well. And yeah, I knew my dad wasn't taking care of himself, and the last time that I saw him was like a few years before he passed, and he wasn't taking care of himself then. I wonder if you can hear her just like cleaning her tummy in the background. Every time I go to touch her, she like starts clawing me because she's in a playful psycho mood. But yeah, my mom called me. It was like a week after I'd moved to Toronto. It was right after I graduated college. I just, like I said, received a message from my dad, and I updated him. And then I received a call from my mom a week later, and it was right after I went to bed. And I got a phone call, and I saw that it was my mom, and just like yesterday, I was not expecting that, and I knew that it had to be something serious, because my mom is not the best at keeping in touch, we'll say. Like, she does not call, she doesn't just check up on you to be like, hey, how are you? Like, my mom is not that type of person. And she called me and told me that my dad was found dead in a waterfall. And that was all that they knew at that point. That's all the information that she'd received. And I just said, okay. I had a feeling that was going to happen, or had a feeling that, I don't remember what I said, but I had a feeling that it was going to happen, and for some reason I just felt so not at peace, but neutral, completely numb with it at the moment, but it was almost as if I was already numb before I got that call, because I knew it was coming. Whereas when my brother died, I did not know that was coming. I had no expectation of that. I could not sense that in any way, shape, or form, or could have predicted that my brother was going to pass away, or that was going to happen. And so, I don't know, it was really odd. It was a really odd way to grieve my dad. Like, I woke up the next day and was like, I'm going to practice my audition and make my dad proud. And I just went on with my life. Well, no, I didn't. But for the first several hours of the next day, I kind of did, until the people around me, my friend Heather was like, you need somebody to be around you, come spend the day with me. And I just hung out with her, and I was kind of like numb. And then I spent the next couple days just isolated in my friend Sydney's apartment, and I could feel how bad she felt for me and how much loss she felt for me, but I wasn't feeling anything yet. And I don't know, I felt so much like guilt that I wasn't feeling all of this intense pain, I guess you would say, but it was such a weird grieving process with my dad, because I just knew it was coming. And I miss him all the time, and I feel like I said that I've embodied him in so many ways, and we are so similar in so many ways, and he's passed on this feeling of like, I need to care for other people, and like, not even just care for other people, but like, the reason I do YouTube or put myself out there in any way, whether it's my performing or whatnot, is because I just feel like I was born to share my experiences and my pain and my suffering and how I've came through. And I still have crappy days, but just like, I feel like I have a gift of expression and a gift to share, like with vulnerability. Like, I don't feel like everybody is able to just turn on a camera and talk about the most painful things in their life. and stuff like that. A lot of people can't even talk about that with their closest loved ones and stuff like that, and I know that, but I was reading something the other day that was saying that if you have the gift of making people feel something, then don't try and hide that. And I just had like a boom moment, was like, oh, I've definitely been trying to hide that. I try and just like be funny, and I try to entertain, or I try to be talented, or I try to be perfect, or I try and be a people pleaser, or any and all of these things. But I don't even know where I was going with that. But you know what I'm saying. Anyways, that was what happened with my dad. I found a pic, and I just thought that it was probably him. And yeah, now I'm feeling like maybe I should start writing music again. I was also hearing, while I was watching the Nikki Tutorials video, she was saying that Kim Kardashian gave her a tip about hate comments and negativity, and that why would you let a comment that somebody put 2 seconds of their emotion into ruin your entire day? And that's why you should not put any attention to hate comments. And for me, it's not so much hate comments. Like, it is when I post singing videos, which is what I used to be extremely passionate about. I used to always want to share my voice, but I used to post singing videos all the time, and I even went to college for 4 years to sing, and I starred in musical theater shows, and I don't know whether the internet is just a super cruel place, or whether it's just not what people want to see on my channel, or whether my voice is really like nails on a chalkboard, and people have been lying to me, or just giving me a chance my entire life. Regardless, like, I've always hated my own voice, but I've always loved to sing, and felt like I put so much emotion and soul into it that it was worth watching. But I've got so much hate on all of my singing videos, and not just hate on them, but like more dislikes than likes, which that's like insane. So I stopped wanting to post music, and I stopped wanting to sing, and the passion just like died. And I went and bought a keyboard, and I just finally opened it today. It's been sitting in my closet for over a month, and I'm like, why don't I care anymore? But it's like, it's not that I need some kind of validation on the outside about my singing, but I'm like, the whole point of me singing before was that I felt like I had been gifted this skill to share, and that I had the responsibility to put in the work and share this gift with the world if I was so lucky to be given this gift. And then once I got to the internet and YouTube, it was as if I was like, reaffirmed that, no, sweetie, you were not given this gift. You actually do not have a gift. And so I stopped. My passion just died for singing, and singing to be great. Like, I used to practice singing every single day. I wanted to be an amazing vocalist. I wanted to be an amazing songwriter. I wanted to be extremely confident, and I wanted to be extremely emotional and passionate, and be able to connect with as many people as possible by being raw. Because I believe in the power of emotion as, like, being greater than what you're actually saying, but, like, what you're feeling, or what you're saying, I believe that, like, what you're saying doesn't really matter if you're conveying a real emotion, and that is what's going to connect and make others respond with you. And so I always felt like, because I have that gift with emotion and emoting, whether it's through dancing or acting or singing, whatever it is, my gift, I know, is emoting. And I have a gift with emotion and feeling and making others feel, because I'm extremely sensitive and I always feel way too much, or I feel way too sensitive, or way too happy, or way too insulted, or all of those things. Like, I've just always felt way too much, and that because I'm an extremely sensitive person, I think of things on a different level, on a more sensitive level than other people think about things. So when I share those feelings and my emotions, it makes other people feel things. So I know that my gift is through empathy and, making people feel emotions, rather than it is being gifted with an amazing voice. So, I don't know. I don't know whether I'll return to singing on the internet, whether I'll return to performing on the internet, or performing live. I haven't really performed live in years. I was asked to do a dance show, and I basically was like, nope, I can't do that. And I did A Midnight Tale, which I still haven't seen the finished product, but it felt amazing to see little clips on camera and know that I pushed myself through that entire process, even though it killed my self-esteem and I didn't feel like I could do it. I didn't have any confidence throughout the entire process, but everybody else believed in me, and the creative team believed in me, even though I didn't believe in myself at all. And sometimes that is enough to carry you. And yeah, I don't know, I kind of think that's maybe what I thought that I would have on YouTube with singing when I first started singing on this channel. The same summer that my dad passed away, right when I moved to Toronto. I was like, oh, well, I've never liked my voice, and I've never felt confident in my voice, but if I just spent 4 years in singing school learning how to sing, and I just got all of these lead roles at school, and everybody was telling me over and over, oh, you have such a great voice, you have such a powerful voice, you're so gifted. I was like, maybe I'll be able to just build a community on YouTube of all of these other people that see my gift that I can't see. And that was not the case. But I did build a community of 3,000 people that support me and love me exactly the way that I am and for who I am, and regardless of what I'm posting and what I'm doing. And sure, not all 3,000 people watch all of my videos or check in, but just knowing that you guys are all there and that you guys support me has made me feel free to come out of my shell and experiment with absolutely everything on this channel. I've always been the kind of person that if you're really close to me, I can have a heart-to-heart conversation, or even if I am not really close with you, but I feel okay to let my guard down around you, I can have really deep, connected conversations about absolutely anything in life, but with exception for there's very few things that I shy away from. But this YouTube channel has allowed me to be vulnerable in ways that I've never been vulnerable in my real life. I shared with you guys my coming out story, and I shared with you guys talking about my sex life and my first hookups and my first crushes and stuff like that, and I've never even talked to my family about any of that. I've never talked to most of my friends about any of that. I'm just not comfortable, or in the past I wasn't comfortable talking about anything like that because I grew up to feel so much shame around having any kind of intimacy or relationship, feelings, love, lust, sex, anything like that to do with love and relationships, because I was gay or because I liked men, and I knew that I liked men, and so I grew up in a community and surrounded by people that made me feel humiliated and ashamed of that, so I never felt comfortable talking about that or even expressing any of those things or feeling them even within myself. And so this YouTube channel and all of you guys in this community have allowed me to open up and share all of that and be scared shitless for a few days every single time that I upload and be like, oh my god, is my family going to see this? Oh my god, does my stepdad watch my videos? Oh my god, what if my mom sees this video and messages me and I have a heart attack? Oh my god, what if the people from work watch my videos? And like one of the supervisors from work one day was like, oh my god, these titles, like, is this actually real? Did you actually like lose your virginity at 26? And I was like, yep. Those are all real. So definitely one of the other supervisors at work has watched my videos or seen my videos. So I don't know. It's made me have to come out of my shell because I'm like, I'm not giving up on my YouTube channel, and I'm normally the kind of person that I'm like, I don't know, I kind of hate this about myself, but I'll be like different around everybody. Like around every different person, you'll get like a different side of me. And that, I think, is not a good quality. Like, before I used to think, oh, this is a great quality because then everybody likes me. I'm really easy to get along with, and I can get along with everybody. And that's what I used to think. And my mom used to always be like, being a social chameleon is not a good quality. And it was like, I don't understand why. And then she didn't really explain, but then I grew up and realized it's not the best quality. Sure, it's great to be able to communicate with everybody, I think. I value communication and genuine communication and vulnerability, and I value those things. But I don't think that it's great to be a social chameleon, because if you're just different around everybody else, then that's people-pleasing, because you're afraid to be who you authentically are. You're only showing them what they want to see. That's basically what my experience has always been as a social chameleon, is that, like, at work, I'll be a perfect employee, and at school, I'll be a perfect student. And even when I was really young, this was a thing. Like, I remember my dad being like, how come you get straight A's in every single class, and at home it's like a giant mess? But, like, we were literally trailer trash, so what do you expect? He didn't clean up either. Yeah, I was always completely different. Or like when I was in junior high and going through my rebellious phases, I would be like a criminal and steal from the store and still go to school and be perfect at school, and I would be like afraid to do absolutely anything wrong to ruin my perfect like record at school, and I would never be late for class, and I would never miss a day, and I would have straight A's, and I wanted to be like the valedictorian of my junior high and all of this stuff. And I'm like, I was always different around everybody else, and I realized that that was a bad thing, and now I try and be one whole authentic person and not just like slivers of myself around different people. And I just try and embrace myself and surround myself with people and with this community where I can be just exactly who I am. And literally this YouTube channel has taught me more than anything who I am and what I'm not and who I'm not. But it's given me an open space to try out. Maybe I am this. Maybe I do like this. Maybe I could be this. And without really much repercussion. Like, I'm open to become who I am and to try out new things and stuff like that. And you guys might not always like everything that I do or support everything that I do, but at least I feel like I can have this space to become myself with you guys, and that is the most valuable thing in my life. And that's kind of why I really gave up on performing. I was like, I don't care anymore. I don't care to audition. I don't have anything to prove. I don't gain anything by being in another TV show. It's not something that I started, or that I wanted to seek out anymore. I didn't care to be a face. I didn't care to be a character. I just didn't care. And like, that's great to everybody that does and wants to be an actor, and that's Sorry, the memory on my phone filled up, so I stopped recording. But basically, the gist of what I was saying is you guys have given me the space to become who I am and to try all of these different things and be myself. And I am now at a point in my life where I don't know what I'm going to do next. I've always been an extremely goal-oriented person, and I always have known this is what's going to happen next. And YouTube has really taught me that I can't control what's going to happen next. I can't make my channel blow up. I can't make a video go viral or anything like that. And so that's great that I can now know that I can just be myself and do whatever feels most authentic and feels like I need to share on this platform and on this channel, but I don't need to try anymore to have a video go viral or to blow up, because it's literally not within my control. And I've been watching a lot of videos on the law of attraction and stuff like that, and I'm like, I think a lot of my anxiety in life comes from I need to work so much harder because I don't want to be in this place anymore, and I don't want to have this job anymore, and I don't want to be this single person anymore, and I want to be in love or something like that, or I don't want to feel unhappy anymore, and I just build up all this anxiety over, like, this is what I need to do to get out of it, this is what I need to do next, and I just need to work. And I just want to let go of that mentality, and I just want to be more at peace with myself and share that kind of vibe with you guys and the people around me, and release all of the bad things that no longer serve me. And yeah, I guess I don't know what I'm going to be posting on this channel going forward, but thank you guys so much for supporting me thus far. If you like this random rambly video, then feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, that would be cool. I am like the least consistent YouTuber in the entire world in terms of what my content is, but I post a lot, so yeah. I don't know what's going to be going on this channel anymore. I was going to say when I started filming this video that I have no idea who I am anymore, but I'm realizing, even just talking about this YouTube channel, that I have learned exactly who I am, and that who I am is not a singer or a dancer or like all of these things that I was trying to be and trying to make my identity, or a YouTuber. Like, I'm not that. I am just somebody that is sitting in my living room right now with my cell phone pointing towards me, and I am having a conversation with whoever wants to join in. That's all I'm doing right now. And that doesn't make me who I am. That doesn't make me anything. But I have learned exactly that labels and everything don't define me. That putting on makeup might make people think that I am transgender or want to be a woman, when it's like not even what I'm feeling at all. But you don't have any control over what other people think of you. It doesn't matter. And I've learned that. But I've learned so much through my YouTube channel that how could I think that I don't know who I am anymore? I have learned exactly who I am, and I just don't know what I want to do anymore. Because now I feel so free, like I am not limited to being a singer, a dancer, an actor, and anything. A vlogger, a comedian. And I feel like I have the freedom on this platform and moving forward to literally do anything, be anything that I want to be. And at this point in my time, I feel like it's time to wrap on up into my cocoon and decide, choose what I want to do going forward, who I want to be. Because I know that I can't just decide, like, a career is not going to make my identity. So I need to choose what it is that I want to do with the rest of my life, and share it with you guys. I feel like in a lot of ways I started living my life for YouTube instead of on YouTube, which in some ways is great. Yes, it's like a devoted kind of mindset, but I literally stopped partaking in life in order to try and thrive on YouTube. Like, I used to be an introvert, and then I was a social butterfly as soon as I finally came out of my shell and made friends in high school and then college. And then when the moment that I decided I'm going to pursue YouTube, I was like, I need to be filming and editing and posting right now. And it made me back into an introvert, workaholic, where I'm just spending all of my time at home editing videos and doing all of this and not spending any time with any real people or nurturing real relationships or going on dates or seeing anybody, just going to my job and then coming back home to do YouTube. And I was always like, well, that's okay. I found my community online, and the people that I relate to online are the most like me and the most authentic and stuff like that. But at the same time, I do feel like it is a value, and it's really important to your health as a human being to connect with people one-on-one in real life, and to make new friends and to nurture relationships in real life and not just over the internet. Both are great. It's great to have a platform, and it is great to put your energy and your genuine, authentic time and emotion into that platform to share with people, because people are going to use their time to watch you. So you should really talk to them as if there's somebody that you're talking to, in my opinion. And I think that's great, but I do think it is time for me to start branching out more outside of just the internet, and to make new friends, and to maybe make new experiences, whatever those may be. I don't know. But it's time for me to definitely go inside my cocoon, or I'm picturing, like, Caterpie going into a Metapod and coming out as a Butterfree, if you're a Pokemon fan. Or I'm picturing Serena go into, oh my god, this is like my favorite moment as a kid, when Serena goes and she like starts spinning. She goes, Moon Tiara Power, on Sailor Moon, and Serena turns into Sailor Moon. And it like shows her getting wrapped up in the Sailor Moon costume and transforming her metamorphosis. Anyways, that's what I'm going to do. Jordan is going to climb into his cocoon, his symbolic, metaphysical cocoon, chrysalis, and hopefully I'm going to come out as Sailor Moon. I don't know. I will come out as a beautiful butterfly. I don't really know, you guys, but it's definitely like one of those times in my life when I can feel that it's definitely a transition period, and that things are shifting, maybe shifting parallels, because, yeah, like I've said, I've been watching a lot of videos on manifesting and the law of attraction and stuff like that, and they make me feel connected, and I feel like I resist them at first, and listening to anything spiritual, I'm like, no, this is woo-woo, phony baloney, but at the same time, I'm like, I only have to accept and let in and listen to what resonates with me for now, and maybe I'll open up to more of it, but It's something new and interesting. Not really new, but just I'm delving back into it and learning more. So that's what I've been watching on YouTube recently. But anyways, I think that this is going to be the end of this video. So it was nice to just randomly come on here and know that I'm just going to upload this video rambling about absolutely anything, and some of you guys might watch, and some of you, most of you probably won't, but like, I'm hoping that you did, just because this was like a nice heart-to-heart conversation that I would have with like my best friend, and you guys are my best friend. Okay, I love you. Bye.